And we are now live, according to the little thingy. We are the Mad Scientists. I'm Mad Frankie. This is Violet Igel over here. And together, we make the Mad Scientists. There you go. That's not a bad one, is it? Yeah. Bye-bye. You can come back later.
I will.
Good,
I don't
good.
have any.
Lost to
No,
show.
I don't mind. I want to see what you've got going on.
So this is the results of last time. And this is the one where it was just going, blah, 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 blah. Don't care, just see what happens. And I seem to have an owl in mid-flight. Yes, possibly. And various other things going on. I mean, you could turn it round and it could be anything. We seem to have a mermaid with very long hair there. All sorts of things could be there. So that's that one. I don't know whether I will go. I might go and sort of concentrate on the owl somewhat and turn it into an owl. I don't know. It's a possibility. This is the second one I did when I did a one with just yellow. I realised I really ought to have left some bits white, so I did. So that way, when I put the blue on, it came up blue and green only when it went over the yellow. We're supposed to wait for each wash to dry before we put the next one on. This one is supposed to have another colour on top, so I think we won't go with blue. We'll go with something else on that one. But on this one, I didn't leave any white spaces. I just did the whole thing, which I think wasn't quite right. But anyway, that's not terrible. And then there's this one, which is the result of blue and yellow at the same time, and then some salt and the cling film. And you can probably see where the salt crystals did their normal action, and it sort of ran along the lines of the cling film, which is pretty much what it's done. And that's rather good. You know, I'd like that. I've put quite a bit of salt on, so we've got quite a bit of blooming out from the salt crystals, and some going along the lines as well. So that's pretty much what I was hoping for. So that's quite interesting. We can always turn that.
Yeah, I like that. I'm going to give that a try.
Yeah, it was fun. So that's those three. And then we've got this one. The bottom there. And this one was the one where I did purple and malachite and some couple of other things. And then put foil down. I didn't use the salt. I've had a little look at the corner and I'm quite intrigued by it. I can't wait to show you this. This is looking rather good. So I haven't actually pulled it all off.
Oh, does it
on board?
Oh.
Now, isn't that lovely? I think that's amazing.
That's gorgeous.
Isn't it just? It's so intense. The foil seems to have intensified the marks.
It immediately, I'm thinking, I'm looking at this going, okay, you need to scan this, do it in black and white, and then make it a stencil.
Yeah, that would work quite well, wouldn't it? Yeah. I may well do that. I don't know what else to do with it until I've got that scanned in. But yes, and by the way, down here where I'm looking at it directly, it's darker than it looks up there. So you're seeing a light version, and I'm seeing a much darker version.
It's beautiful.
So this is really intense over here. It doesn't look it to you, perhaps, but it is to me. But can you see the glisten where the foil was? If you look here, you see the glisten.
Absolutely. Yes, I can. All throughout. I'm going to have to go back and watch the video again where you laid down the paint. I want to know.
Yeah. And it's on the watercolor board.
On the board, yeah. So it didn't warp.
No, it didn't. But it wasn't that intense. I can't remember now whether it had a lot of water. I think it didn't have much water, and I just sprayed some water wherever I felt I wanted it.
Yeah.
When I wanted things to continue moving together. I'm going to have to use my.
That's beautiful.
Take it up. It's only stuck down on one edge. Now, today I've got some other papers to look at. I'll test out. I've got both Bockingford, which is fine grain, white, 300 GSM, 140 pounds, and this is 12 by 9, as is this, which is also 12 by 9. It's also white. It's also 300 GSM, 140 pounds, but this is rough. So that's fine. This is rough. And this one is on, these two are both on blocks. So there's a sheet at the top that comes off, which is rather nice paper for just a sheet. But then you can feel the actual texture of the paper, which doesn't feel all as rough as I had expected it to. I don't suppose you'll be able to see the grain. I mean,
no, not really. There's a blue tint to when you
that's
hold
only
it up.
because there's a lot of paper in the view, I think.
Yeah, I think it's just the paper doing it. I can
I
see.
tilt it that way towards the light behind me. It comes back in colour. But
Yeah,
that's quite nice, quite nice. And this is quite nice too. I don't see a vast difference between these and the arches. Oh, this also has a sheet on the top.
well,
Same as it's milk.
until you use it and see how the paint moves on it and how much it absorbs, you won't really know. You can't tell by looking.
Putting the two together like this, I can feel that this is slightly finer than that. It's not huge, but I can feel the difference. That does feel a bit finer than that one. So it'd be fun to have a play with. So let's start with the rougher one. And I want to use the granulating paints that I have at the moment. I've ordered a couple of other granulating paints, just a few tubes, but they won't be here till tomorrow. And in the meantime, I wanted to use these, which are my Roman smalls that have granulating paints in them. But if you notice, looking at the swatch, don't look at this because that looks like a red and isn't, because these are the colours. So that one is really Aquarius orange. And it doesn't look red there, does it? Even though it looks like it in the block. So I've ordered some reds and yellows out of this other lot. It's Schminky, because I wanted the granulating one, so I've ordered a couple of the super granulating colours they do. So when they come, they're tubes. And that was another thing I wanted to try was tube paints. These have some lovely granulating colours in them, like Misty Morning, Ocean Blue, Mineral Violet, Shadow Violet, the Quinacridone Burnt Sienna, Aquarius Brown is lovely, lovely stuff in there. Shadow Grey and Potter's Pink has got some lovely granulation in it. In fact, quite a few of them have. We'll try them out and see what happens. So let's have a go with these. I'm going to take this out. Oh, and by the way, I've got a couple of ceramic palettes. So this is a really nice big one, which I especially like because it will work with bigger brushes. Although these are a bit, which is why I wanted the tube paints to try out bigger washes, So we'll see how that goes when the time comes. In the meantime, let's grab an intermediate quill. This is the one I keep grabbing. It seems to me I grab this quite a lot. The number 5. There is a smaller one in this range, which I have here, which is the 2. But the number 5 seems to be a nice intermediate size. Although this big one, the 8, is gorgeous, as is the Winsor & Newton one. In fact, they're on a par almost. I think it sort of goes, the Archway is first, then it's the medium Winsor & Newton, then it's the 5, then it's the 2. So I'm picking the 5, as I said. I've also got this one, which is a Daler-Rowney Aquarius pointed wash. which isn't quite the same thing as a quill, but it is secured in a similar way. And Della Rowney is the sort of either sister company or the student quality things from Winsor & Newton. So, yes. And I've got loads of my daggers in here, which I'm dying to have a go at, like this beautiful thing. That is a squirrel. So I hadn't realised I'd bought a squirrel. I did not intend to. But I've got a couple of squirrels. That one and a very, very, very small one. Which, of course, as per usual, I can't see because it's so small, it hides. There we are. Tiny little thing. I mean, it's barely got a handle, never mind anything else. But being made of squirrel, it isn't so easy to use. And of course, I always think about the poor little squirrel that lost some fur. So all my others are synthetic for that reason. Water. So we'll do some vague washes of different colours just to see what happens with these. All right. Turn this around so I can get at it. Move that out the way. There we go. Right. Now, some of my favourite colours are now I like loose watercolours. I've been tending towards this for a time, and it seems another word for this sort of thing is freeform that Violet came up with, and I looked it up, and it's a real thing. So I can see where this is already doing things. So we'll do a bit more fun. So I've also got Misty Morning there. Mineral Violet. I want to do a bit of the Mineral Violet. What we'll do is spray a bit along this bottom edge. So that it keeps loose. Add some more colour at this end, up here, as if it's sort of a bit of a cloud. It's because I want something a bit more moody. And perhaps even some. I need to have another water available, because you know what happens. Oh, the other thing I've got here, I'd forgotten all about, is granulation medium from Winsor & Newton. Now, I saw somebody testing this stuff out, and she said that it really only works on colours that are already granulating. It does do a little bit on some other colours, but it depends on I guess it depends on whether it's a pigment that's likely to granulate. So, what have I got there? Potter's Pink. I know I'm not a pink person, but unfortunately, some fool puts pink into skies. Don't you, God? Yeah, I know. But he understands us all, so there we go. He thinks pink is necessary. I have to learn to use pink, don't I? And I haven't got any red. So what I'll have to do is look around me and see if I've got my Winsor & Newton and see if there's a nice red in there, which there usually is. Quite a few reds. And there's me crib sheet. Tell me what's what. I think a bit of Winsor Red Deep would be nice, which is down here. So I'll try a little double of that. And again, some spray because I don't want a hard line. Well, it certainly looks as if it's moving. Whether it's granulating or not is something else entirely. Now, a bit of yellow. What have we got in the yellows? Golden yellow might be just the thing. That's in this one, the one next to the Aquarius orange. Here. Bit of water. Doesn't matter if it's got a bit of red in it. Let me take these lids out the way. They're getting on in my way. So, a little bit here. Thing is, if you're doing a seascape, you're going to get it down here as well. If that's the horizon, then you're going to have stuff down here as well, even if it goes down to a beach. There we are. So what should we have for beachy colours? So beachy colours, I want some transparent turquoise in the water. So that's this one, which is here. That, unfortunately, is going to give me green in the sun. So let's not, eh? Now you can have a line there where that's going into the skyline. And let's lighten this somewhat with some water. Let's have quite a bit of water. Let's rinse it out entirely and just take a drop. A little drop. There we are, just a little drop. Now this is working without using the masking fluid. That's the word I was looking for, masking fluid. Without using masking fluid. So I'm just putting some little streaks in here. Little ones. Leave the granulating fluid alone for now. And we'll go back to not Potter's Pink so much as Aquarius Brown, which is this one over here, which could be really nice. Except I've got some blue in there. I don't really want the blue in there. Yeah, because I foolishly dripped a bit of the Misty Morning. No, the Shadow Violet into it. Suck boo. Well, I'll just have to clean it off. There we are. That's come off quite easily, actually. I'm quite surprised. Thought it was a bigger blob than that, but ho-hum, good. So we'll get some water and some of that Aquarius Brown. Put that in here. I'm trying to waft it all over. Keep going over the whole thing, which is why I wanted to use a larger brush in the first place. Right, so that's we'll have a little bit of the, which one would be suited best to it, do I think? I think I need a bit more of that brown, really. I don't think there's enough in here.
Well, I'm watching you, and at the same time, I threw down some paint, some watercolor, and I threw some plastic wrap over it. So
Ooh. Oh, it'd be great to see how that turns out.
next time, not this time.
Yeah, well, it's got to dry first, isn't it? Yes.
Yep, and I'm going to do one with foil too. You've
I think
inspired. You have
Huh?
inspired me.
Oh, that's good. I'm going to get some of the tint. It's a very pale sort of pink. I don't think it does a lot of wishy pushing about. That's coming up rather brown. Did I wash the brush out enough? Maybe I didn't. See now the tint. See, it's got a little bit of brownness itself. So I haven't masked anything out, which I perhaps should have. So let's rinse this out. Soften that edge. And then I'll soften that edge there. And there. And there. And there. Don't want to soften it too much. I do want some bits where it isn't. I'll put a little bit more of the tint in here. And go back to ocean. I'll get some ocean blue, not go back to. I haven't used it yet. Try a bit of ocean blue here and there. And water, because I don't want it as definite as that. Not keen on that pink going so far up there. And this end seems to be doing similar, so dry that up a bit. Right. Let's see if I can clear that bit up a bit. Want a little bit more of the water. There. Still don't like that being too strong, so let's get some water on the brush. Reinforcing the horizon line again. And let's mop this up a little bit along this edge. A little bit too definite. And where's my salt? Put some salt on here. There we are. There is a little bit of salty water left on there. can see that's actually going to work. I didn't think it would. I thought it might have been a bit too dry. But it is actually. Might put a little bit at the front of the water as well. Just along this edge. You can tell it's working because the salt is changing colour, which is nice. So that one would have to go away for a while. Look at this lovely edges here. I'm loving that. Very nice. So that's on the Saunders Waterford. Put that aside to dry. I want to try the booking fruit.
Okay, I'm going to leave the foil then.
Hooray! Right.
There we go. We shall see. I will set it aside.
I put a weight on top of it as well.
Yes.
To help it make contact.
Exactly. Yes.
Just a thought. So I think try some granulation medium. So of those colours I was using the Shadow Violet. Didn't use the Mineral Violet, did I? Or did I? Might have done. Anyway, I've got the colours here. So let's have another go with on this paper and see what difference it makes. I think what I'll do is I'll put this on first. With what was the next one? Where did I put my thingy? Crib sheet. Oh, it's right under my hand. You could have told me. Shadow Violet has got some lovely antics going on there. That's Shadow Violet. Is it that one? I'm not sure if it is or not. No, I think that one was the Misty Morning, the other one. So I'm now using Shadow Violet. Must have used some Shadow Violet though, because it went into the Aquarius Brown, if you remember. So maybe I did. More water. Right. Just teasing these edges because I don't want them to be quite so hard, but I don't want this to. I'm not going to put the water on this time. Not on the sun part anyway. But I want a bit of water on here. A bit more of that sun. What was it? What's the golden yellow, I think. Okay. Now, I also used some of the mineral violet.
When I
Oh,
try
I want that one.
when I try to do that, when I try to splatter, I end up wearing more than I splatter.
Yeah, well, a good way to do it is to knock it against your finger like that if you've got enough water on there. Another way to do it is with a toothbrush and by going, let me think.
I can
So
never
this
remember which way to
toothbrush,
flick.
you do it away from you. So you're flicking the like that, right? Because so
Yeah.
your toothbrush is pointing that way when you've got a brush. So you're, it's because the toothbrush is pointed like that. Yeah, the handle doesn't go up in the air,
I think
so your
gravity
bristles
is
are pointing
different
down.
over here in the US because I still
Really?
wear it.
Oh yeah, gravity is different. So, and I want some of that misty morning because I do like it. And I've got to put some little patches in here of the misty morning. Misty morning. I've gone a bit far with that. I just like it so much.
Don't whisper, we can't hear you.
Sorry, I just like it so much. I can't help myself.
Exactly. It's really nice. The thing is it's like you've got a yellow sun there, but you've got storm clouds.
Yeah, exactly. The sun is sinking, but there's storm clouds. It's
They're
exactly what I like.
beautiful clouds.
So while that's still damp, I'm going to put some salt on that bit as well.
Well, I grabbed some salt for my foil test, but
Uh-huh.
I don't have any crystals. I just had ground salt, so I
That
threw
will
it
still
on.
work. You'll get much smaller
Yeah.
bits, but that's better in a way. In
Oh,
for
look.
some effects, it's better. I haven't
Well,
brought the small salt in.
I threw it on there and I threw it on in piles. I just got when I realized what I had, I just like tossed it on there randomly. So we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. Freeform.
Before. Exactly. So I've got another patch I've just put there, so I can put some more on. You notice I'm pretty much just putting it on the really dark colour. Why is that? Because I like it. So rinse that out. I'm using the Potter's Pink again. Sort of surrounding the sun with it somewhat. And now go into the turquoise again. transparent turquoise. Now I'm going to allow these to mix here because I want to see what happens. Now, I think what now I'll do is I'll go for the cobalt teal. It's right next to, goodbye lids, right next to the turquoise.
Are we looking at a beach scene, maybe?
Yeah, they're both beach scenes. Now, this is not melding in, so I'm going around and softening the edges.
I was just looking at that going, I hope you don't touch that and try to straighten it. It looks great. Just, maybe clouds are in front of it.
Yeah, maybe. But I didn't want like the hard edges, so I just softened that edge, that's all.
Yeah, I was just loving it as it was.
Now, I think I might use, where's the thingy? I think I'm going to use a mixture of iso Indoline yellow. That's if I can clean it up enough to use it. I've just made it dirty with my dirty old paintbrush. Try again. So I'm going to mix up a colour with that.
You
And
do have some yellow, I think it is, up there in your palette already.
yeah, but it's a different yellow.
Ah, okay.
And I keep moving the cheat sheet, Aquarius brown. So it's this one here. I want to mix it with the Aquarius brown. Oh, what was that? What was that? Oh, that was the Aquarius brown going for a flying leap. Okay, you want to join in that much? Go ahead. Right, I only want that little bit because then I'm going to suck out some of that colour from along with a fresh tissue because I don't want to put blue on it. That one's got too much blue in it, that tissue. Just going to soak along this edge. And grab the tint again. And put a swathe of that down. Just soften this edge a bit. Now I like all this. This is looking a lot like waves to me. I'm liking that a lot.
Yes,
This is not looking so
yes.
good.
And the way the water moves, it's different colors, it takes on the light differently. So that's great. And as it gets closer to the beach, it gets less
Paler.
water, so you can see through it. It becomes more transparent.
Yeah,
I,
that's not so bad. Now I'm going to put some more salt on this bit, which is still wet. Let's check to see if it is still wet. It's starting to take on some colour. There's not a lot, so I might drip a little bit of water on. It's just going to dribble a little bit on here.
oh, it makes it look sandy and pebbly.
Yeah.
Wow.
And perhaps there's lightning here where these little feathery bits are.
I love it.
It's amazing what we can make up to go, oh, see that blot there that I hadn't intended? That's so-and-so. But that's the fun of this kind of freeform type painting.
Yeah, I thought maybe it's the looseness you're looking for.
It's sort of that way, but it's a little, I'm not sure.
It's still more deliberate because you've got an image in mind.
Yeah,
In your
exactly.
case,
Yeah.
you don't, but you do.
Yeah.
But it's still letting the paint do its thing.
Uh-huh. Well, that's the fun part, isn't it? I mean, I can see
Yeah.
so much granulation going on here. It's fabulous. I might add a little bit more yellow there just to allow a bit more to happen. I can rinse water and stuff. Oh, we want to see what you were doing. Put that back. Put that back.
Remember this?
Yes.
Look how
Yes.
awful it is.
No, it's not awful. That one, the dark blue one there. You could really do something with that.
But wait,
Yeah.
turn it over, and it's not.
Oh wow! I said you could do something with it. You did. You turned it over.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking
Isn't
at.
that beautiful?
So there's room for doing more here. So this is
Yeah.
good. I'm fine with that. Okay.
Good. Good. Right. Are you ready?
I'm ready, and we will say goodbye and thank you everyone for being here. Bye bye. Bye
You
bye.
get in position. I've got brushes in the way.
Bye
Okay. Right.
bye.
Here we go. Bye bye. Bye bye.